Yeah, I think sometimes when we think of honoring your father and mother, we just immediately go to obedience,
Yeah.
right? And that's part of it, right? But it's not the whole picture,
And it's more than that
right?
too.
So it's a lot more than just being obedient. So like how do we create room for curiosity and questions while also encouraging respect and honor?
Huh. Eddie, I think you're right. I think curiosity is the key to small children, right? Because they're already
Mhm.
curious. I mean, that's why they put things in their mouth. That's why they continue to climb up the stairs when you tell them not to climb up the stairs, right? They're just curious about everything. And we do want to instill in them a sense of wonder. Um, and I think that's healthy, but it's also we need to explain to them why are they curious and why do they wonder about things? And perhaps it's best to say things like, let's explore God's creation together, right? And so, for instance, I mean, a small example is I remember we were flying when we just had one child, so she was probably two, and it was her first time in the airport, right? And of course, we get through security checkpoint and everything. We're kind of waiting for our gate. So, what do you do with the kid while you're waiting for your flight to take off for an hour? And and she wants to walk around everywhere. Now, I could have said, no, you need to stay here because we got to wait for our flight. But to kind of encourage that sense of curiosity and wonder, and I don't even know if she remembers this, right? She's two, but I remember it vividly because it was, hey, let's make this a game and let's just explore because there's so much in this airport that we've never seen before. So where can we go? What can we do? Let's check out. And she'd check out, whatever, some of the seats or some of the a different, hallway. Oh, but we can't go down that way because it's restricted for us or something like that. Let's, walk over to the food court and just explore and wonder with them. Um, but knowing that, hey, we're in this together, and will they honor us? Well, yes, I think they will, but it takes some hand holding as well as their age. I think makes a big
Mhm.
difference on how to teach honor, to your kids.
Yeah. I think with our son, we're really in this stage of, he wants to do whatever he
Yeah.
wants. And it's like he really fights us on that. That's like what threes are. Everyone says, there's like people say the terrible twos, but I really think it's coming around that three is much worse. And because they just really know what they
Yeah.
want and they know that they're not getting it.
Yeah.
And so I feel like we have the conversation like 50 times a day with our son is, I know that that's what you want. I know that this is what you want to do. Sometimes mom and dad do know what's best for you,
Hmm.
and you just have to like listen. And I feel like we try really hard to explain why we're doing the things that we're doing, and in trying to, also respect him as his own person. Like, I'm going to respect that you have this question or you want to do this thing, but also sometimes we just have to do what mom and dad say because mom and dad just kind of know what's best for you. But I am going to take my time, if I have it in the moment, to explain to you why I'm doing this or like why this is the answer. No, you can't have a bedtime treat because we just went to the ice cream store. So you just had a ton of sugar, and we can't, go to bed with ice cream and a bedtime
Right.
treat because that's not good for our bodies. I'm not just saying no just because I'm saying no. There is a reason
Yeah.
that I'm saying no. And I feel like being able to explain to our children our answers and why we have those answers allows them to also feel empowered and respected in our answers while also saying, you still have to like listen to what I'm saying, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, exactly. I think giving them an answer, and it depends on their age, right? And what they can comprehend,
Yep.
how deep that answer can be. But I think actually giving them an answer actually empowers them to then be able to make
Hmm.
wise choices in the future, right? So that they know there is a reason behind this. Because for parents, it's so easy to say, because I said so, right? Because I'm
Right.
the adult. But unfortunately, when we do that, essentially, we are making an argument from authority, which we are. We
Hmm.
have the authority, right? I mean, if the
Mhm.
Police show up to your house. They're going to say, hey, who's in charge here? And we are in charge because we have the authority to, that has been given to us.
Mhm.
But with that being said, we're trying to teach our children not just to obey authority, but to make wise decisions so that when they
Mhm.
get older, they'll be able to make the right decision.
Right.
And but yeah, like we mentioned, I mean, the age is interesting. We what my wife and I did was we and we learned this from others, but there's different stages of the childhood and what you're trying to do in each different stage. And for us, for like infancy to about like 4 or 5 year olds, they're in the stage of disciplining. And that's what we try to focus on is we are just disciplining. And those days are long. They're hard because you're just getting the same answer. I don't want to, I don't want to, I don't, and you just are disciplining timeout, timeout, timeout,
Yeah.
whatever. And then there's the second phase between 5 and 10, 12 is this stage of training where the disciplining
Mm.
is done and you're working more towards, okay, this is more of this is why we're doing what we're doing, right? um and it's so cool because actually we have a 7-year-old now, so she's really out of the disciplining stage and we really don't have to discipline her. We don't take things away or put her in timeout or anything like that, but she's more of the training stage. And then the teenage years are more of the coaching area where you're kind of on the
Mhm.
Yeah.
sidelines, but you're just kind of guiding,
Mhm.
nudging, pushing. And then 18 and over is really the friendship stage, and
Mm.
that's really what the goal is, right? Is that we can be friends and have a healthy relationship as adults. So
Yeah.
but when they're in that disciplining age, yeah, it's hard to to have them show honor to you and your spouse without the just losing it, right? The disciplining.
Yeah, it's
So,
100 times a day. If you do that again, I'm taking it away. If you hit me again, you need to go sit in your room by yourself and cool off.
yeah, we had that.
Yeah.
Here's a short story for you. Just the other day, our kids were playing in the living room, and they were playing with the throw pillows, and they thought it was a literally, they took it literally, throw pillows, right? And we've
Oh.
told them many times, several times, particularly our youngest, he's 3, he's almost 4. You can't throw these pillows. In particularly, there's a few that my wife has that have tassels on the corners
Mm.
of them, and he likes to take those and just hold onto the tassel and, like I said, throw the throw pillows. And so they were playing in there while we were cleaning up after dinner. And then I go out there and I noticed that he has ripped the tassel off of the corner
Mm.
of the throw pillow. And so hey, what happened here? It broke. Okay, you need to go sit in timeout. And so he goes, sits in timeout. The other kids, okay, you need to go elsewhere, go in the basement or something like that. And so they go down to the basement. So after a few minutes of timeout, I go over, his name is Graham. And I go over to Graham and I said, Graham, do you know why you're in timeout? Because I broke the pillow. Well, it's not just that. It's because we've asked you not to throw the throw pillow. And when you broke it, you didn't tell us that you broke
Mm.
it. You were trying to hide it from us. And it's
Yeah.
intuitive for kids, it's intuitive for adults to hide things that we are
Yeah.
ashamed of doing. And what would we want him to do? Well, if he breaks something, we want him to be honest and be truthful and just tell us that. And so I told him, okay, so now what you need to do is you need to go take the pillow, bring it to mom, tell her you're sorry for it. And if she cannot fix it, tell her that you will buy her a new pillow with your own money. He doesn't have a lot of money. I mean, he's got, he does like, he tries to sweep and dust and gets a few quarters out of it, right? Or whatever. But he understands the concept, probably because his brother and sister, of having money so that he can go buy toys, right?
Mhm.
Doing things so that he can be rewarded, so that he can go buy something that he wants. And so, because when he's not honest and when he disrespects the things that mom likes, it breaks the relationship,
Mm.
or it tarnishes or
Yeah.
tears apart, tears at the fabric of what we want. And that is a healthy relationship between children and their parents. And so
Mhm.
he grabs the pillow and the tassel in the other hand, brings it to mom in the kitchen. Sorry for, no, no, I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry for throwing the pillow. And then he starts to cry, and
Oh.
he starts to whimper. Really, it wasn't just a cry like I want to get out of this situation, but I think the gravity of the situation when he started to have to say, and I will pay for it with my own money, and he still got the words out. So I think that kind of communicated
Yeah.
that, okay, he was sincere about it,
Mhm.
but it showed that, okay, with him, not loving the things that mom loves. And it's
Mhm.
not just that she loves pillows, but, a house that's tidy and things like that. He was showing dishonor or
Mhm.
disrespect, but by apologizing and sacrificing something that he has was significant enough for him, because he realized he needed to restore that relationship that he had with his mother. And so he said, then I'll pay for it. And so of course, then they hugged, they embraced, and she ended up sewing it back on or whatever. But I think that small little thing,
Mhm.
and then 3 seconds later, he's running off to play with his
Doing
siblings
something
again.
else.
And you have these just small windows that you have of these
Yeah.
teaching times, that we're trying to instill in the children, right? To honor your mother and your father.